My beautiful friends, let's do a reading. I feel good energy today. I'm picking up on some nice energy. So I wanted to come on and I was hearing energy check with this collective. So we're going to look at what energy you're in. And I was also hearing how you're shining right now. So we're also going to look at that. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. We have missing piece on the bottom. So maybe your puzzle pieces are falling into place. Maybe you're realizing that you're the missing piece, right? You're the love that you've been searching for outside of yourself. That's what I'm hearing. I like it. Missing Piece by Vance Joy could be symbolic. I love that song. So let's get into it. But I'm feeling really, really light, good energy. All right, so let's see what's going on here. You could have a very sensitive nose. I always used to joke that I could smell people. I can, and I can also smell energy. Maybe you're someone who channels through scent. There's a name for it. I'm not sure about it right now. Do I look it up? Maybe you smell people. And I mean that in the most normal way, even though that's not normal. So we have clairsentience, inner feeling, clairvoyance, inner vision, clairaudience, inner hearing. Do we not? Oh, it doesn't have it. Interesting. But there is. Anyway, you could smell people. All right, so let's get into this reading. I'm just going to cut the deck. Wally's here. Wally's here. He says hello. He hasn't been tooting lately. He's doing much better. Interesting. We have keeping up appearances. When your relationship is fake as hell, whatever, but you try and hold it together. Clairalience, clear smelling of something that's not there. So that's a different card about smelling. So clearly you are someone who has a very strong sense of smell. Maybe you have just that energy on the bottom of the deck. Maybe you have the ability also to see through a facade, like to see through somebody who is keeping up appearances, someone who is wearing a mask. Actually, I'm hearing for some of you, maybe you are someone who is neurodivergent and wears a mask, right? But let's get into it. I'm really tempted to flip over the top card. Friend zone. Okay. So let's see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on. Maybe you were friend zoned by someone. All right, you could be smelling not just, you could be connected to someone who you pick up on their scent, if they have a certain scent. I just felt the need to say it. So let's see, you, beautiful you, your energy. Your beautiful energy. We have Scorpio, so you could be a Scorpio, passionate, determined, brave. You could have been dealing with a Scorpio. My sister's a Scorpio. Ooh, we have you aren't serious, not taking your boundaries serious, thinks you'll give in. So whoever you are, you could have people around you that aren't taking your boundaries seriously, and that's a tough one. And the other thing I'm hearing is that sometimes we don't take our own boundaries seriously, right? So we put up a boundary, and then I talk about this all the time, the hard lesson of boundaries, right? Because when we put up a boundary, it's to keep us safe. It's to tell someone, this is what I'm like willing to allow in my energy. This is what I'm not willing to allow in my energy. And oftentimes through these lessons of boundaries, which is a tough one, because as children, we're not taught to put up boundaries. That is one of the things I teach my children. I do teach my children to put up boundaries, even with me. But we weren't taught that as children, right? And when we put up boundaries, and oftentimes, not all the time, because the right people will respect your boundaries, or they will stop doing or really our boundaries are about us, right? But they'll respect your boundaries. But oftentimes when you're around people who aren't used to you having boundaries, they'll push back against them, or they won't take them seriously, or they'll just disappear, right? And I always say that is a sign that the boundary was needed. But it's also important for us to take our own boundaries seriously, right? So when I was learning how to set boundaries, what an experience. I would set a boundary and then the person would go silent and I would message them and be like, "Why are you going silent?" So I wasn't taking my own boundaries seriously, right? But you could definitely have people around you who aren't taking your boundaries seriously, especially if you're going through change. We have long distance. So at a distance with someone. And we have diamonds. That's good. You're working on your pentacles. You're working on your pentacles. King of Pentacles, finances, stability, and home. So that's one of your focuses right now. Your own stability, your home, your pentacle world, your finances. That's good. Maybe it's at work that people, well, we have this long distance card here, but it definitely could be like maybe people at work as well aren't taking your boundaries seriously. Oh, that is so weird. This card snuck in to this deck. It's from a different deck and it says independent. It was just on the top, so I'm taking it. So you're really focused and embracing your independence right now. Beautiful, beautiful. And you know, maybe anybody who's not taking your boundaries seriously, you're putting distance between you and that person. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. I'm in such a, this is a high vibrational energy. Scorpio, what's that about? What is that Scorpio energy about? You cutting ties, so you could be cutting ties with a Scorpio. Or just passionate, determined, brave, having the determination and the willpower to let go, to release attachment, right? It takes willpower. Accepting the reality of the situation and releasing attachment to it. Perfect. Beautiful. I like it. I like it. And it is what it is, right? I used to hate when people said that, but I can see why people say that if they have no control over the situation and it's like you have no control over somebody else, right? So in that situation, it is what it is. But when your life is falling apart or you're unhealed and you have willpower and determination to do something about it, it isn't just, it is what it is, right? But accepting the reality of a situation that you are not aligned with someone here, higher vibration, energetic mismatch on two different vibrations. And that's the thing. I feel like you're seeing that. You're seeing that you're just not aligned with this person and there's acceptance, right? Again, we take it really personally when someone isn't aligning with us. We take it really personally because it triggers a lot of wounds, right? But for whoever you are, that's how you're seeing it, right? That you're just not aligned with this person. It is what it is. And you're taking control of your energy. Beautiful. Again, cutting ties, releasing attachment so that it doesn't hold you down, right? We talk about this. I love this. This is good. You aren't serious. Let's see what that's about. Not taking your boundaries seriously, thinks you'll give in. Boundaries. There's another one of those cards. Okay. Yeah. Stay out of my business. That's you. So it feels like you have not taking your boundaries serious, thinks you'll give in, but you're like, just, if you're not going to respect my boundaries, stay out of my energy. I just noticed that somebody is whippersnipping. Is that what you, well, we call it here, whippersnipper. Anyway, we have POV, POV, point of view, perspective. So whoever these people are that you're putting up boundaries with, and doesn't matter who it is, right? But whoever the people that you're putting up boundaries with who are not taking it seriously, you're putting distance between you and them, whoever they are, whoever, it could be multiple people. And then we have point of view, perspective. So they're not seeing your perspective. And maybe, you are that collective. It seems like you are releasing attachment. So you could be also seeing it as, they just don't see my perspective, and why, like from my perspective, I needed to put up boundaries, right? Perhaps these are people who don't see your perspective, don't see your point of view, don't realize why you have those boundaries up in the first place. But I'm hearing, like, from my point of view, I need those boundaries. I'm actually going to get one more for that row. And that's what happens when you start putting up boundaries, when you, especially if you are a wounded empath who have let people kind of take advantage of you. They've really, like, you had a lot of patience with them, a lot of understanding. When you, we have don't change. You don't have to change for anyone, right? I'm hearing you're perfect the way you are. There is good change, right? When it comes to healing and growth and those types of things. Oh, they don't want you to change. That's what it is. Don't change. That's what it is. Okay, so clearly you're going through lessons of boundaries where, what I'm hearing, it is hard when people get used to a certain version of you, the version of you that would always say yes, the version of you that would always be there, the version of you that would always, like, prioritize them, whatever it is, right? And when you start putting up boundaries, it's not just with one person. I'm getting Phoenix energy. You're phoenixing, right? Cutting those ties, rising, burned so many times you had to phoenix and put up boundaries. But like I said, it's not just with one person. When we are learning those lessons of boundaries, we get tested in multiple areas. But what I'm hearing is that people don't like how you're changing. And that's not up to them, right? Maybe people have even said to you, you've changed, like it's a bad thing. No, you've grown. Right now I understand why don't change is on the bottom, because they don't want you to change. They got used to that version of you, whatever that version was. Today I feel strong and healthy. That's your affirmation. I'm in some high, but like tapping into your energy, it's very light, right? Because we embody the energy that you're in. And I like sitting in your energy. To hell with what those people say. Don't change. That's what happens. Growth creates distance. I'm seeing that card. So when you start to, it's the crab bucket, right? We talk about this all the time. When you start to change and grow, the people who are not ready to elevate with you, or the people who are stuck or just used to that version of you, right? They try and pull you back down. You're different. There's something wrong with you. You've really changed. All they're saying is that you've grown, right? And especially if you are a people pleaser or a wounded empath, I choose to feel calm and peaceful. Your affirmation. It can feel like a kick to the gut, right? When you are, from your point of view, you're proud that you're learning these lessons, you're proud that you're evolving, and then the people around you are like, you're different, you've changed. I liked when you shrunk yourself, right? Don't change. So clearly you have people around you who are triggered by your change. And again, all that, it's your growth, and you should be proud of your growth. Not everyone can come with you when you change and evolve and elevate, right? You're clearly vibrating at a higher frequency, creating an energetic mismatch. And you know that, which is powerful because you're not taking it personally. And again, we're programmed to take things personally like that, right? Long distance, let's see. Long distance. We have Cancer. Nurturing, protective, caring. So it feels like you are protecting your energy right now. There could actually be physical distance because I'm seeing the Chariot. So there could be physical distance between you and someone. But I'm also hearing, you know, I heard it right away that you are actually putting distance in between you and people. Left on red. I miss you. Left on red. Something fishy is going on. Something fishy is going on. The smell, something smells off, remember? So you could be somebody who, again, you could have a very strong sense of smell, a sensitive nose. You could smell energy. Maybe you smell this person sometimes. I know that sounds weird. For the right collective, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. But also, you know, sometimes people use the expression, I can smell it from a mile away, right? So what I'm hearing, long distance, you could have gotten a message, you could be being tested right now. Someone not taking your boundaries seriously. I'm gonna have to shut the window. Hang on. I'm just gonna shut one. I shut both of them, right? And as I was shutting my windows, I thought of you, right? So when I feel like you got some sort of message from someone that you've put up boundaries with, and all it said was, I miss you. And you've left them on red because something smelled off, right? So you could have put up a boundary here. They weren't seeing your perspective. Maybe you even told them your side of the story and they didn't, whatever happened there, whatever their reaction was. And then distance between you, you could have got, I miss you. Nothing else, right? No, nothing else. No, I respect your boundaries, whatever. It was just, I miss you. And something smelled off to you, so I don't think you replied, right? Left on red, that's your energy. You left them on red. For some reason, I'm getting Phoenix energy. So I feel like you had a test that you have passed. Like I'm turning red, my eyeballs are going red. Something fishy is going on, right? Smells off. And I was thinking about it when I was shutting the windows. Like it wasn't like a door opening, right, to a new beginning or a healthy conversation. It was just kind of like outside noise. Miss you. True colors. So whoever this is in this middle row, look at how red I'm getting. Whoever this is, maybe that's how you felt too when they reached out and you left them on red. Perhaps you felt that Phoenix energy. Or maybe your body was reacting when you got that I miss you. But true colors. You can smell it from a mile away, right? You can smell through it. You can see through it is what I'm hearing. And I'm not saying this person is terrible, but you've pierced the veil is what I'm hearing. Like once you see a pattern, once you see, right? Because when you notice a pattern, that's the time to put up a boundary. When you notice a repeated pattern of disrespect or whatever. And I just feel like now that you've seen it, you can't unsee it, right? And you've got this, I miss you, and you left them on red. True colors. And playing with fire, foolish risks that you could regret later, right? So I feel like you were tempted to respond, but you stayed in your strength and chose silence. Good, good. That's good, good. Intuitive feeling, clairsentience, intuitive feelings regarding self or others. So it feels like you're really learning to trust your intuition when it comes to connections to people in your life, right? You're probably somebody who would say, like, I have a feeling about that person. Like maybe you just had, before you realized that you can read energy, maybe you would always have feelings about people. I don't mean like that. I mean like, especially if you're neurodivergent, highly spiritual. like maybe you do have gut feelings about people, right? But perhaps with this person, you ignored your gut feeling. But now that you see it, you can't unsee it, right? This is very good. This is very good. So right now your focus, finances, stability, and home. So you're focusing on your own stability. I'm hearing your masculine energy also coming home to self, maybe. You're your missing piece. Focus on stability. What's that about? Aww. In competition with self. Beautiful. So you're not in competition with anyone. And I say this all the time. There's no point comparing yourself to others because we're all on different journeys, right? We're all on different parts of our journey. So it doesn't do us any good to compare ourselves to others. The only thing we should be comparing ourselves to is the past versions of ourselves, right? And that's what you're doing. You're challenging yourself to be better and grow. I love it. Yeah, I'm broken, but I'm open and hopeful to love again. You're coming home to yourself. You're putting your heart back together, right? Remembering who you are. Focused on being that stability for yourself, protecting your energy. This is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. I don't know what this card is, but that's beautiful. And not only that, this is not like... You're also hopeful that you'll be able to find love again. Once you're right now, you're challenging yourself to grow so that you can call in something more healthy, something more stable, right? And you're open. No, sorry. Hopeful to love again. Once you remember how to love yourself, which you're remembering right now. Using your discernment. Yeah, look at that. You could be going through that reading I did yesterday. I had a third eye like headache for the rest of the night. So you could be going through a third eye activation is what I'm hearing. You're using your discernment, your intuition, your third eye, right? Learning important lessons of discernment, being very discerning about who you allow into your energy. Beautiful. This is beautiful. You're seeing this very clearly. You're having a breakthrough. You're having a breakthrough. This is beautiful. Independent, independent. Independent. Embracing your independence. Beautiful. Oh, I'm making all kinds of weird noises in this one. You are growing closer to self, right? You're falling in love with yourself, learning to love being in your own energy, spending time with yourself, taking accountability, facing obstacles, working on your structure. Saturn. Beautiful. This is really nice. I want another one. I want another one. Facing obstacles by yourself, right? Everything I need is within me is what I'm hearing. Taking accountability for maybe the times where you did have a fear of being independent, or you didn't like your own energy, or you just wanted somebody in your life, right? Growing closer to self. One more for this one. This is gorgeous. It's no wonder I was hearing, how are you shining? That's how I was going to start. One more for independent, taking accountability. Taurus, where are my Tauruses at? What you eating? What's your favorite food? Oh, so you're probably, I've never seen this card. I love those cows. You guys know that I love those cows. I love them. Blushing. I was turning red. So maybe you are going through Phoenix energy here. Improved focus, improved mental clarity, improving communication. No longer shrinking. Speaking your authentic truth. Taurus, loyal, hardworking, sensual. And I feel like that's you right now. Hardworking, loyal, right? Tauruses are very loyal. And if you're loyal, you would want a loyal person in your life. One more. Being loyal to self. Taking accountability for perhaps the energy you did allow in that wasn't the best for you, right? Oh dear. Well, we almost got there. We almost got there. We have I woke up thinking about you. So, you could still be, and that's okay. You could still be going through moments where when you wake up, this person is on your mind, but I feel like you are working through it, right? You're not letting it consume you. You're not letting it consume you. All right. So I want to get unspoken oracle. I feel like maybe there's quite a few of those blue cards in here. All right. Oh, all right. I filled the space where that deck is supposed to go. So what do I want to look at now? What do I want to look at now? Unspoken oracle, that's what I'm hearing. Unspoken oracle. All right. I do want to shuffle it once. I do want to shuffle it once. Nothing on the split. All right, this beautiful collective. Authentic expression, beautiful. Learning how to speak your authentic truth. Boundaries. Speaking truth, no longer shrinking. Letting your real self shine, alignment over approval. Exactly. And anybody who doesn't align with you, you don't need their approval, right? Fresh start, positive outlook. That's exactly what I'm feeling. And you know, that Queen of Swords energy, when you learn to set up boundaries, it doesn't feel like it at first. Brie and I often share this this hilarious reel on Instagram where there's this little girl in the teacup rides and the look of horror on her face, and the caption is, when you finally start learning how to set boundaries. And it feels scary, right? Or you have like an emotional reaction and you're shaking, and it kind of triggers like a trauma response because somewhere deep inside of you, you learn to shrink yourself and not speak your truth, right? So it can actually feel very scary when you start to do it. But it empowers you. Like, it might not feel like it in the moment, but eventually you get stronger and stronger doing it. And you find your voice. So keeping all that in mind, let's see what comes out of this deck. I love this deck so much. I wish I could find another deck like this one. There's something about this deck. It's a good deck, and it covers everything. All right, let's see what's going on here for you. Outside influences. What was I saying about people not taking your boundaries seriously? Outside influence, unclear loyalty, and you're very focused on loyalty. You're a loyal person, right? And we don't have to call in people exactly like us, but if you are loyal and faithful and dependable, that's what you deserve in your life. Emotional interference, outside influence. And remember I said they're not taking that card, they're not taking your boundaries seriously. So maybe you're putting distance in between. I'm not just talking about this person you woke up thinking about. I'm talking about, again, it's not just one person that we have to learn to set boundaries with. Spirit will test our growth, right? So it's usually different situations, even if it's just someone we ordered something from, right? Who's like screwing us around. Anyway. Third party energy. Let's keep going. I'm just going to get the first few. We have imposter syndrome, doubting talent, comparing journeys. You're not comparing. You're not comparing. So this is somebody else. That's somebody else, right? This is what I'm hearing. It's the people around you not taking your boundaries seriously. They think you're bluffing. And they could be people who are actually forgetting their own worth, is what I'm hearing. We have higher alignment, you stepping into purpose, divine clarity, soul empath, uniting, walking in light. So whoever you are, walking the staircase up, you're headed up. I feel like this third party energy are people around you kind of doubting you, doubting your boundaries, doubting the path you're choosing for self, doubting whatever it is that you want to do. And again, they could be triggering that imposter syndrome within you. I talk about this all the time, the crab bucket, and I try and give examples from my own life. The one that I use the most is when I quit drinking. The people who drank around me didn't think I was serious that I was quitting, right? They doubted that I could quit, so they would tempt me, why don't you just have one drink? And it would put fear into me, right? It would make me doubt myself. That's what I'm hearing. I'm actually going to put that card right there. And higher alignment. So you're stepping into a higher vibration. You already know that. And just remember, there are going to be people who try and put fear and doubt into you to hold you back on their level. And it's not manipulative. They're not doing it. They're not doing it from a place. It's coming from distorted energy, right? They're not doing it to purposely hurt you. It's their wounding that your light is triggering. And again, the crab bucket, they're doing it unconsciously because probably they don't want to lose you. You're definitely changing though, right? And they don't like it. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are some people out there that purposely sabotage others. But there's emotional interference, outside interference, putting doubt into you. That's not cool. I'm feeling big sister energy. I'm feeling protective over you, which means you're protecting your own energy. Why do I keep slamming my rings? That means you're protecting your own energy, because I embody the energy I'm channeling, and I feel like I want to protect you. So I feel like you are learning how to protect self. Right? All right. Whoever these people are, or whatever this is, it could be causing you to not trust yourself, but you need to keep trusting yourself. All right, let's keep going. We have the silent treatment. And that's what I mean. You could be putting distance in between you and these individuals, or you could be choosing silence. Remember, I was hearing left on red, you're choosing silence. I miss you is not, after putting up boundaries, and I miss you is not, that is not any form of conflict resolution, right? Emotional standoff, unspoken frustration. And maybe that's who you used to be. You would choose silence. You would choose to shrink yourself, to not upset people. But now you're finding your voice. I'm going to get another one for that. Silent treatment. Toxic comfort. It didn't come out, but I saw it. Toxic comfort. So it feels like that used to be your go-to. You would choose silence, or like pride over connection. Hard to let go of familiar chaos. Learning self-worth. Okay. Silent treatment. Mixed messages. Interesting. We have moving in silence. I was hearing that when I was shuffling the deck and they weren't showing me anything on the cut. I was seeing this card. Moving in silence, private progress, quiet confidence, protecting energy, plans kept sacred. I also want a secret. I'm also hearing secret. And you know, that sometimes happens, especially when we have people in our life who aren't supporting us, right? We kind of, especially if we know they're going to put fear into us, we learn to keep our ideas to ourselves, right? So that they can't talk us out of them or whatever. But quiet confidence, you are protecting your energy right now. And it's not that you're giving people the silent treatment, but you're choosing silence. We also have loyal friend here. What's that about? You could be going silent on some people right now. Choosing silence even with friends. Let me confirm that. Maybe one of your plans kept sacred. Maybe one of your plans is to call in loyal people, right? I wanna loyal friend. What is that about? Interesting. I feel like I need to take this card because I see it and I immediately heard something. So we have crossroads, big decision ahead, torn between two paths, pressure to choose, unsure which direction feels right. That's confirming loyal friend. So this could be also about, you could be dealing with a friendship here where someone is comparing themselves to you or putting fear into you or interfering with your journey, right? Not taking your boundaries seriously. They don't want you to change. And really deep down, it's coming from an insecure place within them because they don't want to lose you, right? But you have a crossroads here with a friend. Interesting. We also have abundance returning, smart planning pays off, gratitude attracts growth, balanced, give and receive. What did I say? You could be a people pleaser. You could be an overgiver, right? You could have put up boundaries with someone that this one's getting me a little. We have loyal friend, and remember that card, the Taurus card that we pulled. So whoever you are, you're loyal, right? You're a loyal friend. What I'm hearing is that people can trust you. You always show up. You're always there to help, right? You're always solid and stable and loyal. Remember that Taurus card. But I feel right here like there's some interference with people in your life where you have to make a decision and assess, is this really a loyal friend? Because when I'm confirming loyal friend, we have big decision ahead, torn between two paths. Pressure to choose. Unsure. I am strong and can persevere. I am strong and can persevere. That's your affirmation. We also have something about finances here, right? You're focusing on your finances. So perhaps you've chosen to focus on your finances and be independent, realizing maybe this isn't the friendship you thought it was, right? Or there could be something about, I'm hearing it, so I'm going to say it. Maybe you're thinking about like stepping into your purpose and that involves moving, or maybe you work with your friends and you're going to have to, like, you want to quit that job and start your own business, right? There's pressure to choose here. So who's pressuring you to choose is my question, right? But I feel like you're choosing self and you're choosing to focus on your stability. I've never had that loyal friend card throw me for a loop like that. I'm going to get one more. I just want to see. One more about loyal friend. Breadcrumbs. Mixed signals, inconsistent effort, keeps the door half open. Remember the window thing? And I said you want a door that opens. Unavailable, emotionally guarded, half in, half out, fear of depth, avoiding vulnerability. So this feels like someone that you can't even be your vulnerable self with, someone you see as a loyal friend or saw as a loyal friend. Protective energy. Guarding peace. So whatever this is, I don't know, you could have already put up boundaries with this person, but I feel like there's someone else, in, like a friend in your energy. You've either done this or you have to, that you are feeling unaligned with. And again, maybe realizing maybe they're not supporting this change in you. Maybe they're not supporting what you're doing for business or something. But you have a crossroads here where you have to choose. Oh, I'm just going to get one more for that row. One more. No contact. Energy shift. Exactly. You're shifting your energy and there's things here you're outgrowing, and I'm seeing with multiple people. A reliable presence, emotionally grounding, safe space to fall apart, mutual encouragement. That's not what we're seeing here, right? We're seeing interference from someone causing emotional interference. They don't like your change. They don't want you to change. And we have no contact. Energy withdrawal. I think now that you're shifting your energy, you're no longer on the bottom. We have tables have turned, right? So you've definitely gone through an energetic shift. Again, you have changed. And remember that card, don't change. They don't want you to change anyway. I think that you're realizing that it's not the support system that you need, right? And I hate to say it like this, but they could be taking up the space of a true loyal friend, your true support system, your true soul tribe. That's all on that one row. That's important. Maybe it's also the energy too, different energies, right? So there could be people in your life that you're in a really good mood or you're feeling excited about something, but they're not at that place in their life. A person can only meet you where they are. So if somebody's unhappy, how can they be happy for you, right? I know that sounds weird. Last row. Last row. Glow up, watching from afar. Spying on socials, regretting lost access. So this could be, again, we're not going to say who this is. You did wake up thinking about someone, right? Which, don't beat yourself up over that. Someone regretting lost access, and you had that middle row that talked about, miss you, I miss you, and you left them on red, right? There was no change. We have unspoken tension, distance growing, needing an honest conversation, not just an I miss you, right? And then watching from afar, spying on socials, regretting lost access. And then you have a full circle moment. Closure gained. Integrated, peace restored, acceptance. That's you though. That's you accepting that there's distance growing here. I'm going to get one more for that one. One more for that one. I just saw distance creates growth. Hard truth. You're seeing the reality of this. No longer chasing. You're letting what needs to fall away, fall away. Healing, not chasing. You know the truth. You're not romanticizing potential, which you probably used to do. Fated encounter. It feels like there's a lot of moving parts here, right? It feels like you woke up thinking about someone. It feels like you woke up thinking about someone. It feels like there's many tests and lessons that you're integrating right now when it comes to many areas: career, love, friendship, possibly family. Because we have fated encounter, cross paths by destiny, familiar souls, instant attraction, divine timing at play. I was getting that in the first deck, but you're releasing attachment. And we have hard truth, knows the truth, not romanticizing the potential of this fated connection, facing reality, healing, not chasing. I mean, this is all good because then you have that full circle. You're integrating these lessons into other areas of your life, including career, friendship. Maybe it started with this person and a boundary. Okay. I kind of want to get... I'll get tarot after I get... I'm going to get one more for that. Divine timing, pause with purpose. Intuitive awakening, heightened awareness. I said it. You could be having headaches. Heightened awareness, trusting your gifts, clear downloads, guided by your inner knowing. This is all really good. You're no longer chasing mixed messages. You're no longer chasing things that are not aligned with you. I give my mind the time it needs to achieve peace and clarity. That's you right now. Pause with purpose. Trusting in divine timing. Trusting that what is meant for you will not pass you by. Right? This row, right now you're in independence. From the first part. I just feel like, do you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing emotional loose ends, or you've got like the crab bucket. There's like, again, I think it's funny, boundaries didn't come out. You know what? Before we move on, I just want to see Spirit's advice for you. Spirit's advice. Glow up. This is, and then Spirit close the deck. That makes sense. This is your time to glow up. You're completely focused on self, and that's what you should be focused on. And it's not selfish. I'm seeing that hot air balloon, right? Ascension. Ascension. Because you're ascending. I think your gifts are improving too. Your intuitive gifts, your inner knowing, your intuition, third eye. Glow up. Glow up era. Confidence rising, reclaiming your power, no longer seeking validation, becoming unforgettable. And unfortunately, that happens when you go through a glow up, right? It triggers people who are in lower vibrational energy. So that's your focus right now, and that's a good thing to be focused on. But again, it can be hard when things, people, mindsets start falling away. Okay. I want to see how you're shining with an animal card. That's what I want to do. All right. Animal card. How are you shining? We have the sea serpent. Healing emotional wounds. Learning how to protect your energy. Reparenting yourself. That's beautiful. Learning to reparent yourself. We're just going to bring it out. Blue eyes could be symbolic. Maybe healing a mother wound. I always hear mother wound with this card. And you had protective energy with the adult and the child. Maybe there's a child involved that you're protecting as well. Healing emotional wounds, learning how to express your truth, express your desire. We express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. We know what we desire most. Our hearts are at ease when our relationships are meaningful and enduring. Loosening the grip of self-judgment. Letting forgiveness in to heal your wounds. Beautiful. That's beautiful energy. All right. How are you shining right now? How are you shining? How are you shining? How are you shining? You have a blessing on its way. Are you talking to me, buddy? Guess not. You have a blessing on the way. Clairvoyant, intuitive, high priestess energy, the owl. It always reminds me of the high priestess. You have a blessing on the way and the truth. Speaking your authentic truth. And I always see the caterpillar dissolving into goo with this card, right? Going through this transformation. And transformation it's not always easy, but you're seeing the truth. You're seeing through the facade. Remember I said that? You can see through people. Again, you're very intuitive about people. You can read energy. You can smell energy. And again, seeing the truth of situations. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, right? And you have the unicorn. Your little unicorn horn is growing. Your intuition, your third eye. Messenger of divinity is what I'm hearing. Although that's messenger of divinity. I'm pretty sure that's the hawk, but that's what I heard. You have powerful cards. Healing emotional wounds, the sea serpent is a spiritual card. And now you have 2 more spiritual cards. So whoever you are, you're embracing your spiritual journey as well. Highly spiritual, highly gifted, whoever you are. Seeing the truth of divinity. No longer, maybe you had people around you who didn't believe in the things you believed in. Right? Seeing the truth about divinity, no longer questioning your gifts, no longer questioning your inner knowing, your intuition. Beautiful. The owl, feminine energy, the owl. Abundance, clairvoyant treasures, mysterious, otherworldly. represents wealth, beauty, and good fortune. It's an omen that a boon or treasure is on its way, either in spiritual or material form. So you could be, your gifts could be expanding right now. With owl wisdom on your side, you'll see and know exactly what to do with this boon. And remember the middle row, something smells fishy, right? You can see through it. You are very intuitive, whoever you are. Generous, trusting, secure, you. When out of balance, money, quarrels, scarcity mindset, to bring into balance an offering. And then you have these two beautiful cards, which I do have to read. Speaking from an authentic voice, the truth. Speaking your truth, possibly about your own gifts as well. Or the things that you have an inner knowing about, right? The black egg contains one of life's essential treasures, the truth. Inside of it resides no confusion, excuses, small talk, noise, or lies, not even white ones. This living and breathing vessel harbors only that which rings true. When this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly. We are drawn, this is you, this is how you're shining. It's in balance. We are drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, or perhaps public speaking. Sounds draw us in, books draw us in, the concept of truth draws us in. We start asking questions like, what do I know to be true about myself? Not what their opinion is. Not what their opinion is of your change, right? What do you know to be true about yourself? Every day I move forward on a track of healing and self-improvement. You. What do I know to be true about the world? So you could also be really embracing divinity. You could be really embracing spirituality, right? And a lot of people, I mean, in my experience, channeling energy for these past few years, when people wake up, it's not often that they wake up and the people around them wake up, right? So a lot of people talk about going through like a spiritual isolation. When the energy of the black egg is not yet accessed, we speak from an unsure place. We say things others want to hear, right? For validation. Remember, you're not doing that anymore. Repeat stories to justify our subpar behavior. Well, that's just the way I am. It is what it is what I'm hearing. We might even try and convince ourselves that we have no inner truth at all. So you could have even convinced yourself that you weren't divine or that you weren't special and magical and gifted. The energy of the black egg hovers and waits for us to reconnect. So maybe it's been hovering around you for a while. It's available at every moment in every situation. So you need to really remember this black egg. It's available to you in every situation, and it has to do with speaking your authentic truth. No longer justifying subpar behavior, yours or anybody else's. You had taking accountability though, like you are taking accountability for your own healing journey. And that's, again, I say, you know, it's not our fault that we're wounded and in that distorted energy, but it's our responsibility to heal it. Nobody else can heal it for us. And when we don't heal it, we continue to hurt ourselves and others, right? I'm hearing it, so I'm going to say it. There's like two sides of the spectrum, and I'm not talking about being autistic, but maybe you are. There's hurt people who hurt people, right? And then there's wounded people who don't want to inflict that hurt on anyone else, so they end up accepting a lot or letting people walk all over them because of their wounds. And eventually you become resentful when you do that. It's our responsibility to do our own healing. We can't heal. We can't do the healing work for anyone else, and no one else can do it for us. It's our responsibility, right? You would understand that, this collective. And you have the unicorn. You're magic. I love the unicorn. And like, clearly you are tapping into your inner truth, your inner voice, your higher self, your wisdom, your intuition. Maybe you even remember at the very beginning, I pulled out all of the, where did it go? I pulled them all out and explained what they are. Clairaudience, inner hearing. Clairvoyant, I know there's more. Clairvoyance, inner vision. Clairsentience, inner feeling, inner hearing, inner vision. I know there's more, but that's all that's in this book right now. The unicorn. So maybe for a while you also let other people weren't taking your spiritual growth or your healing journey seriously, right? Or people around you were kind of not believing in divinity. They could have thought you were crazy, right? It's hard to believe in something when we're surrounded by people who don't believe in it. Like-minded souls, that's what you need. Like-minded souls in your life. Reconnecting to higher wisdom or divinity. It's difficult to see, hear, or think of a unicorn without immediately questioning if it's real. Oh my gosh, last year, I've told this story before, but last year I went to Universal and we went on Hagrid's Harry Potter. And at the very end of the ride, they have a mother unicorn and a baby unicorn, which I do have the stuffies for. And every time, like when they're waiting to load you off, you stop right in front of the unicorns. And every time my kids were like making fun of these unicorns because these unicorns are not real. They're just robotic, right? But I would get so offended. I'd be like, stop making fun of the unicorns. It's difficult to see, hear, or think of a unicorn without immediately questioning if it's real. Did they ever exist? Perhaps long ago. The mind answers maybe, or it could be, or no way. This very contemplation explains our relationship with divinity and encapsulates, I don't know how to say that, our wavering belief in the unicorn. You're the unicorn. Unicorns are real and you are one. We wonder what divinity is. We wonder where our intuition comes from and if we can really trust it. Because we've been programmed to trust other people over ourselves. We've been programmed to trust our parents, right? We've been programmed to trust our teachers, what the leaders are telling us to do. We've been programmed to trust our negative thoughts and negative opinions before positive ones and intuition. It's crazy. We give so much power to the negative, right? We think about a higher power in our mind, and that's all. People who don't trust their intuition, it's wounded energy. They need validation for their intuition. They need to know that it's real. They need to know that it's true, right? So I'm feeling very feminine energy here. Feminine energy, the Empress, trusts their intuition, right? They give their intuition the power, not their fear. Anyway, we think about a higher power and our mind hesitates between yes, no, and maybe. Is it male or female? Does it have a name or is it just a feeling? The unicorn card appears and wakes us up to curiosity about the higher self and the divine. It is a card of questioning, exploring, and contemplating the inexplicable. The mind's eye knows there is something beyond our day-to-day lives, a deeper dimension to our experiences. The mind's eye reaches and reaches and reaches. Your little unicorn horn is growing. And the more power you give it, it's the opposite of Pinocchio, right? The more Pinocchio lied, the longer his nose became. The more you trust in your intuition, the longer your unicorn horn will grow. Reaches out to grasp something more. You are the unicorn, and you have begun your quest for the answers, and the answers are all within you. And again, I'm getting the feeling that you have people around you that don't believe in the stuff you believe in. And you know what? That doesn't mean what you believe in is wrong. And it's okay that they don't believe in it. We're allowed to have different beliefs. But don't push your beliefs down and mask them just to please others or because they don't validate them, right? You're magic. I feel like I should show you my unicorns. Hang on, I'm gonna get them. Here's the mama unicorn. See, the more you trust it, the stronger and longer your horn becomes. That's the mama. And then this is the baby. Isn't the baby so cute? I love it. I also picked one with wonky legs because I always felt like they had feelings and nobody was picking the one with wonky legs. So I chose the one with wonky legs. I gave it a home. But look at its little unicorn horn poking out. Maybe that's you. Maybe you've just had an intuitive breakthrough. Piercing the veil is what I'm hearing. This is a magical reading. Whoever you are, you're magical. You're bringing out my sparkle is what I'm hearing. Whoever you are, you're magic. And you know you are deep down. You know you are. Think of the never-ending story and wishing on that grain of sand. The more wishes he made, the more powerful Fantasia became. And the more you trust your intuition, the more powerful it becomes. The stronger your little unicorn horn gets. And I'm going to say it. You woke up thinking about someone this morning, right? So you could be... I think whoever you woke up thinking about, though, you turned your energy around and put that focus on yourself, embraced your independence. So maybe that's the habit that you're in, right? Because we can get in a habit of obsessing over people. And Bree was talking about this, about how it becomes a habit. Thinking about someone, obsessing over someone, watching readings about them, looking at their social media, it becomes a habit, right? So perhaps you watch Bree. She talks about it takes 21 days to, oh gosh, I can't remember the exact wording, but it does take 21 days to create a new habit, or maybe it's break a habit, and then 66 days to create a new one. I'm doing a horrible job explaining that. She explains it much better. But we can break that habit, right? We can break that habit. And I feel like whoever you are, you woke up thinking about this person, but you quickly turn that energy onto self. I'm smelling a divine feminine. I don't usually say that anymore, but I put on white, I can smell it. Remember, I can smell things. Let's just get, oh, that makes sense. You have the panther. So the panther wreaks havoc. The panther is like a tower. Everything that is not aligned with you, anything that is not in alignment must go. So that's probably what you're going through right now. And needing to use your intuition with what you allow in, right? Or what you're keeping in your energy. That's tough. You could be feeling... The thing is you could be very alone right now without a support system, but you're supporting yourself. You had that really strong independent energy. And then there's the swan. So embracing healing. This healing potent energy should not be taken for granted, and it's to connect you with your inner knowing, your intuition. And when there's noise and other people's opinions, I'm seeing the Grinch. No, nothing but noise, right? You can't hear your intuition. And can I also just say something? Your intuition speaks in statements. Can I say that? I got a download last night and I meant to write it down, but it just came through again. And I've said this before, but I really feel like I need to say this. Your intuition makes statements. Your fear, your distorted energy, your wounded energy, your ego, your mind, your overthinking mind, questions. So when you hear things like, what if I'm this, and what if I'm that, and what if this isn't this, and what if I fail, and what if this, and what, you get it. Questioning, that's not your intuition. Your intuition doesn't question you because it's an inner knowing. Think about that for a minute. I had a download last night about it. It's an inner knowing, so it's not a question. Your intuition would be like, that energy isn't aligned with me anymore. I have a purpose. I am this. I am that. Statements where your anxiety questions you, right? Think about that. Think about that the next time you're trying to discern what's intuition and what's anxiety. Anxiety screams and questions you and puts fear into you. Your intuition whispers, it's gentle, speaks in statements. Okay? Remember that. And then when you hear the questioning going on, you can say, oh, that's not my intuition, right? And not get held up on it. I'm talking like you can just snap your fingers, but seriously, maybe for some of you that was like an epiphany moment when I said that. So now when you hear questioning, well, what if I do this and this happens? What if I do this and this happens? That's just your fear. That's your fear and distorted energy trying to keep you down, right? This is fire energy. The Panther. Annihilation of the unnecessary. It's so dramatic, but it is. Purging, right? Cleaning up your energy. People being removed. Maybe you're working on maybe you're nesting within your house or purging things in your house because things hold energy. Remember that. When in balance, brave and productive. When out of balance, self-destructive. To bring into balance, get rid of the unnecessary. This is how you're shining right now. Brave and productive. Magical. Authentic. Clairvoyant. Very intuitive. The Panther won't stand to see our growth or energy stagnate. I talk about this all the time. When we become stagnant, in comes the Tower to break up that stagnant energy. It pounces into our lives and causes all kinds of havoc with the ultimate intention of bringing us towards more fulfilling lives. It's unexpected, uncomfortable, and sometimes feels devastating. But after the dust clears, it's easy to see the Panther's wisdom at work. We've all been through these experiences and they've made us better people. Trust that the Panther's journey always leads to a brighter place. And you're going up that stairway of ascension towards the light. Not that light. Not that light. And look where I intuitively laid it. I just did that subconsciously. I put it right before that owl, not even thinking about it. And that owl talks about this leading to a better place. And this, a blessing on its way. And you have the swan. Trust your inner knowing. You're magical. One more card. It's so funny because I was seeing that this morning. Like the green eyes. All right. One more for you. Maybe advice. The butterfly, what did I say? The butterfly. I know how to use my creativity. That's your affirmation. What are you thinking about being creative with? Maybe you're already being creative. Your advice, the butterfly. And it doesn't, if you've ever watched the life cycle of a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, it does not look like sunshine and rainbows. Black egg, icky, gooey mess. The caterpillar's body rejects the transformation, right? Tries to resist the transformation and then it breaks down into the goo. And then when a butterfly is born, its wings are all crumpled up and it's afraid to fly. It holds on to its old self, the shell of its old self, for quite some time before trusting its inner knowing and spreading its wings and flying far, far, far away. Maybe you're like Jenny from Forrest Gump. I always talk about that. learning how to set boundaries, right? I talk about Jenny all the time about how when she was little, she wanted wings so that she could fly far, far, far away. This energy is nice. You know what I'm really tempted to do? I got a deck. I haven't gotten the deck yet, but I had to buy the book separately, and the book came yesterday, but I don't have the deck yet. And I'm having this really strong urge to just grab the book and choose a random page for you. I might do that. So you could be going through a transition with relationships, transition with a job, living, romantic, friendship. And it's not, don't be afraid to let go of the former shell of yourself. Undergoing great change and transformation, the unicorn, right? Your little unicorn horn has just pierced through. I'm seeing like a teething baby. I don't know why I'm seeing a teething baby. Just remember, once it pierces through, that's your breakthrough, right? It's not going to suck itself back in. I don't know why I'm saying these things. When in balance, cheerful and graceful. When out of balance, fragile and frustrated. To bring into balance daily routine, right? So maybe you're working on your routine. You would be working on your routine because you had structure. So you'd be working on your routine and structure. It's with us during the periods of transition. Since air is the element of the heart, this usually involves relationships, or if you love your job, perhaps a career, even if you don't love your job, I'm hearing. Since transition is accompanied by some amount of discomfort, be extra patient and kind during this time, especially if the butterfly card is, or the butterfly is you. And it says, let solid friends and activities support you while you go through this. But what I'm seeing in your energy is that the people around you aren't supporting it. That's what the cards, that's the energy that was coming out in the cards. So if you don't have that, be that for yourself, committing to a daily routine, a meal, practice, prayer done at the same place and time will do wonders for lifting your butterfly spirit. I'm gonna grab that deck, and I'm just gonna be random here. Message for this collective. You know what? I was at a bookstore last week when I was getting my phone fixed, and I did see it's an oracle book that you just open up to random pages. I didn't get it, but like when I opened this book yesterday, the messages were powerful. And I don't have the deck yet, so I just want to get you a message. I'm going to trust my intuition, my inner knowing. Heart opening. Heart opening. Goddess, this world needs your heart. It needs its wide open radiance. You putting your heart back together, open heart, hopeful for love. Remember, you're magical, whoever you are. It needs its wide open radiance, its pounding passion, its unfathomable and unfailing love. It needs its light, its magic, its softness, its goodness. It needs its perfect imperfection. It needs its ache. It needs its gooey, I said the goo, sentimental mess. Right? And we were taught you're too much if you're highly sensitive, right? You're too much, you're too sensitive, you're too this, you're too that, you worry too much. What it doesn't need is more walls. So, and whoever you are, these boundaries that you're setting, they're not building walls, right? This says what it doesn't need is more armor, more emotional armor. And that's the thing about setting healthy boundaries. Right, the right kind of boundaries don't build walls, but they allow you to let that armor down because you're safe, right? Because you have healthy boundaries. Whereas when sometimes people's boundaries do put up walls, right? Anyway, the world needs you. Love needs you. For it is your open heart that will be the catalyst for all others. Receiving this card is a quiet touch, a delicate whisper, and a critical calling. A delicate whisper, your intuition. What is your intuition whispering for you to do? For you to feel past whatever it is that's causing you to want to shut down, to hide away, to protect yourself, right? And I'm not talking about boundaries. I'm not talking about... This is a little bit conflicting because this clearly is about authentic expression and boundaries, healthy boundaries, right? But some people with boundaries, they just build walls around themselves, emotional armor. To feel the enormity of potential within your own heart to love bigger than you. Close your eyes, put your hand on your heart center, and feel it calling to be released. Asking for the permission to love. You don't need anybody's permission to love, but you are hopeful that you will have love again. You're being asked to open your heart in spite of pain, in spite of fear, for opening your heart in the face of these. That doesn't make any sense. There's a typo in here. It is opening your heart even wider and is going to allow it to heal. Interesting. So working through your emotional armor. I'm going to do it one more time. Do you find yourself spiraling sometimes? Questioning your journey? Put your mind down and hear this in your bones, in your belly, in your womb. You cannot do anything wrong. You cannot do anything wrong. You cannot do anything wrong. What you think now is wrong, a mistake, a should have or would have, what you think could have been better or was a waste of time, is simply the underside of the ever upward turning spiral of creation. And the only thing that can take you down the other way is doubting, fearing, hating, regretting, blaming, judging, believing that it's all wrong. You do have the unicorn, which you could be questioning divinity, right? Questioning your journey. So be aware of your thoughts right now. Collect your thoughts, redirect your energy, and begin to go up the spiral into self-love instead. To do this, all you need to know is that everything that happened was simply part of the spiral, the process, the path of life. That everything that is happening now is an opportunity to choose the direction you move in that spiral. And that everything that will happen, however it happens, is simply another swing, another loop of the spiral of creation, and you will always have an opportunity to choose your next direction. That's actually quite beautiful. Yeah, you're also simply being presented to the truth, the black egg, that all of life, the universe, creation, nature, even you, exist and flow within a spiral. It is not a straight line. It is not a rational step-by-step process. It loops and whirls and dips and dives and winds and bends and soars again. Oh my goodness, there's some interesting typos in this book. But the message is still important. There is no there to get to. So you could be struggling with feeling like you have to get somewhere, right? It's about the journey. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's a process, and at every moment you are somewhere just beyond where you just were, always. And so you get to rest, knowing that you can't do anything wrong. You can simply choose to be expansive or contracting, and choose how quickly you ride the waves. And the sooner you ride the waves and stop fighting it, surrender to flow, the easier your journey will be, right? That's beautiful. Again, there's weird typos in it, but that's okay. All right, so let's get... I'm going to get that Intuit Oracle. I know that positive change is but a thought away. Your affirmation. Your affirmations are good. They're good. Where does this go? Why do I feel called to get you one of these? Okay. There's a hair. We've got a hair. Okay. So. I'm gonna do what Bree does with this deck, soul contract. So we're gonna have a little peek at your soul contract, what you're going through right now. What's on that soul contract, lessons that maybe you're learning, things that you're healing. Let's have a look. All right, your soul contract. I've got those unicorns staring at me. Whoops. Will he mess up the focus if I put him in? She, whatever. You can be whatever you want to be. Well, no, that's not going to work. Maybe I should set her up in the back somehow. Hang on. It's your spirit animal. I've got to get it in there. Whoops. Look at that. I put them in there. All right, your soul contract. Your soul contract. Your soul contract. I actually just want to go once through the deck here. They're all face down, except that one. All right, I see some codependency here. So we have ball and chain, codependency, heavy, weighed down, codependency, trapped. Remember the things that are weighing you down from fully ascending. People not on the same energetic frequency, remember that? The crab bucket. And perhaps in the past you were codependent. Addictions, emotional baggage, right? That wears you down. Weighs you down. It wears you down as well, but also weighs you down, right? And we were talking about healing and how it's our responsibility to heal. And we can't heal anyone else. All we can do is heal ourselves, right? We also have deception, jealousy, betrayal, backstab, toxic silent treatment. Maybe that's something you used to do, right? Maybe you used to shut down and be silent. Or perhaps you called in other people. Perhaps you are going through something with your sexuality as well. This says sexuality. It also says counterproductive, right? I'm hearing lack of conflict resolution. We have mortar and pestle, blend, brew, alchemy, concoction, breaking things down, making something else, right? Making lemons out of lemonade, transforming your codependency, this snake energy, right? Transforming it into something completely different. Alchemist, I'm hearing. True alchemist. Taking these lessons and making it into something else. Anyway. I shouldn't have gotten so many at once. Oh well. We have finances, King of Pentacles. So you are supposed to be focusing on your finances right now, your stability, where you invest your energy, your time. And we have stable. And that's you working on your foundation, your stability. Having willpower. So all of this was supposed to, again, what I'm seeing here, right? And I saw it in the first, well, I've seen it in all the decks, but also the very first deck where you are challenging yourself to grow. You're not staying stuck in this energy right now. You are alchemizing this energy, transmuting, I'm hearing. Being that stable energy for yourself. I picked that up with the fish. We have justice, seeing things clearly, seeing the truth of the situation, piercing the veil within 1 to 2 weeks during the fall. Harmony and balance, kind. So you're sociable or artistic. Indirect. So you could have been someone who was very indirect. Maybe you had a fear of speaking up. Remember, silence. You would silence yourself. And now you're breaking that down and making it into, you're finding your voice. You're finding your strength. Developing over time. You're developing over time, and it doesn't happen instantly. Transforming, alchemy. Alchemy, it says alchemy, right? You know how I don't know how they make wine, but don't they crush down grapes and make it into wine, right? You're taking your lemons and you're turning it into lemonade. And I know that sounds like surface level, but it's not. You're transforming your emotional baggage, and that's been weighing you down, right? That's been keeping you stuck. Alchemy. And it's creating a balance in your life. You could be looking really good right now. Glow up energy. People could be saying, like, I can't believe you're that age. We have clover. I'm going to come back to that one. That card, that's an interesting card. We have on a quest, migration, relocation. Remember that for some of you, maybe there are people who don't want you to relocate, or people who, again, don't understand the journey that you're on. Oh, this says leaves no one behind. So you could be having a hard time leaving people behind. But what did I say like 40 minutes ago or whenever it was? Not everybody's meant to come with you. You're on a quest, migration, dependable. And you'll meet your other geesies. This is 14, temperance, right? So I feel like, again, with this justice card, alchemizing, it's creating more balance in your life. So you'd probably be noticing energetic imbalances in your life. Not everybody is meant to come with you. I'm hearing like you have your eyes on the prize, or you're embracing your journey, which is beautiful. Oh, we have, okay. First of all, we have travel, so you could be traveling. We also have green light, progress, full speed ahead, right? And I think that's great. 9 of Cups. This is 9 of Cups energy, not green light, progress, full speed ahead, but 9 of Hearts is 9 of Cups. So again, I feel like for a time you didn't want to leave people behind, but you know where you're going, right? And if they're not ready to migrate with you, that's okay. You're being given the green light, full steam ahead, right? Like I said, it's like you've got your eyes on the prize. And look at this single, like there's only one person riding that horse, right? But there is something here about there could have been some sort of rendezvous or unexpected rendezvous, short-lived and message, right? Remember back to the first part, I miss you, and you left it unread. If that hasn't happened yet, be prepared for that. Because this clover is a beautiful energy. Like clover, you think of, it always makes me think of Thumper from Bambi. But you think of like luck. You think of, it says good fortune, but then it's also like unexpected rendezvous, a fling, short-lived, right? That could have been this connection as well that's on your mind. Remember the fated encounter? So it could have been very short-lived, just enough to activate you full speed ahead, right? All right, now we have all these cards. Oh, you have the Lion, dedicated to personal and spiritual growth. And the lion is very particular about who it lets into its energy because it's worked very hard. 9 of Cups, it's worked hard to get to where it is. High self-esteem, heart-centered, overcoming difficulties, beautiful, devoted to self and your journey. That's what I'm seeing here. And again, I know you don't want to leave everyone behind, but not everybody's meant to come with you. We have expect the unexpected. And think about that Jaguar energy, right? So maybe you weren't expecting some of these things to fall away. I actually want to get a card to confirm this. Are you wanting to come in? Just 1 second. My son wanted to come in and see Wally, and he also, yesterday in my reading, he was saying through the door very quietly, if you can hear this, comment sandwich emoji. I think he was trying to get you guys to comment sandwich emoji. It's cute. We have grasshopper. Leap of faith, easy going, sudden change in direction. So whatever these unexpected things that are coming, right? You're overcoming obstacles. Remember that with the lion. You're overcoming obstacles. So anything unexpected, Black Panther, whatever it is, pouncing into your life, right? To create havoc, to remove things. Spirit's saying don't worry about what's being removed right now. It's happening in your soul contract. It's meant to be happening. Don't worry. Moving on. Focus on your prosperity. And we have middle of the season. No, now is not the time. So anything that unexpectedly falls away, it's for a reason. It's because it's not aligned with you. Middle of the season, purpose-driven, secure, confident, gets it done. These are the types of things that you're already working on, right? You're being the person you can count on. I just want to confirm this, expect the unexpected. Let's just see what that's about. Clearly not it hasn't happened yet, I don't think. Expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected. What is this about? Expect the unexpected. Crossroads. Remember, you have a crossroads coming. Crossroads, journey, multiple choice, travel, weighing the options, decide, free will, opportunity, independence. Expect the unexpected. You might have to make a decision here. Could have to do with work, Queen of Pentacles. But you then Spirit closed the deck. You have a crossroads coming. That hasn't happened yet, I don't think. Where you're going to have to listen to your intuition. Remember that. You're going to have to be that unicorn. And remember, when this crossroad comes up, what did I say? Your anxiety questions, your wounded energy questions. What if I do this and this happens? What if I do this and this happens? What if I don't do this and then this happens? That's all distorted energy. Your intuition speaks in statements. I need to choose this direction, right? And the only way you can hear it is to turn down the noise, to sit in silence so that you can hear that whisper. Remember that. Remember that. Could have to do with work. It's Queen of Pentacles, so it could have to do with work. We have an unexpected end here. So for some of you, this hasn't happened yet, right? Over and done, the end. You're going to have to choose to end something here. And you'll feel it. You'll feel it in, remember when I was talking about feeling energy? Storm brewing, sudden, unexpected end, breakdown, liberate, Phoenix energy. Remember my Phoenix energy. I don't think this has happened yet. There's an unexpected crossroads where something is coming to an end. To close out a cycle, remember, the end of a cycle. You had that card on your last row in Unspoken Oracle. We have it could be something that's Seven of Cups, right? Options, things causing confusion, people causing confusion, things online causing confusion. Ground yourself before you make this decision. Personal growth. So whatever this is, it's very important to your personal evolution, your journey. It's going to help you evolve. It's going to help evolve your connection to source. So you're being, whatever this is, you're being called to trust your intuition. And again, if it's questioning you, remember pressure to choose too was on that crossroads, pressure to choose. And I said, who's pressuring you to choose anything? That's your anxiety would be pressuring you. I have to act now, or I have to make this decision right now before it's too late. That's not your intuition. Your intuition is patient. Ground yourself before making this decision. Weigh the options, the pros and cons. I deserve to evolve? Are you crazy? This is something that's preventing you from evolving. You're already evolving, but this is I talk about the things that are tethered to us, keeping us from fully ascending, right? Because we don't just go through one ascension. So whatever this is, I can't believe that just popped down because it says here, connection to source, evolving. Your unicorn, the jaguar, the butterfly, right? Make this decision from a very grounded place. You'll know what to do. Your intuition will tell you what to do. Spirit, close the deck. I hear a blue jay outside. All right. I want to get you tarot. I just want to do quickly, what do I want to do here? Let's see your current energy. 10 of Pentacles, working on your stability, leaving a legacy, working on your financial security, your roots, family, ancestry, focused on long-term success. That's good. All right. You. Seven of Wands, boundaries. Standing up for yourself. Authentic expression, remember? Standing your ground, boundaries, defending your position, perseverance, protectiveness, protecting your territory. There is a message here about protecting your energy right now. The stars so that you can heal. Hope, renewal, miracles, rejuvenation, faith, North Star, purpose, spirituality, inspiration. That's what I mean. This card, right? We have an image of someone holding a wand, their passion, their Ace of Wands, their passion. And the other wands are actually being held by other people, right? That are poking at them. Outside influence, other people's opinions. Possibly about your healing or spirituality or your dream. Protect your energy. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for yourself. Your current energy. We have the Chariot. I said I saw the Chariot. King of Swords, good. Mental clarity, intellectual power, truth. Authority, reason, discipline, high standards. Yeah. Integrity. Yeah. Thinking before you act, right? Sword down, sword down. So you could be in no contact. We have the Chariot. So you're seeing the truth of your journey is what I'm hearing. The Chariot, action, success, movement forwards, moving into alignment. Taking the reins of your own chariot, right? Determination, willpower, exactly. You're tapping into your strength. Eight of Cups, you have the Eight of Cups. Wow, wow, you could be traveling or you could have moved. But this is beautiful. Balancing your feminine and masculine energy is what I'm hearing. Yeah, we have the Nine of Wands. Wounded and weary from battle, but you persevere with hope and determination. And you are guarded when it comes to your heart space, with good reason, I believe. perseverance, resilience, testing of faith. You're being tested right now. The fact that no cards about you being tested came out, though, makes me feel like you're passing these tests, right? Maybe they don't even feel like tests. The final push, boundaries, close to success. You're headed for a breakthrough. What song is that? I think I'm hearing the wrong song. Gloria? Gloria, Gloria. Headed for a breakdown? You're not headed for a breakdown. You're headed for a breakthrough. And you have the Eight of Cups, moving on, unfulfilled from current situations. So maybe for some of you, you still need to move away from this. Walking away into the unknown towards your fulfillment. You had the Nine of Cups. You're meant to walk away from these things. Searching for truth, letting go. And that's a tough one. Do you know what else I'm hearing? Is that the Eight of Cups, that's a tough card, right? Because it means walking away from accepting less than you deserve. It means walking away from something that maybe you've been avoiding walking away from. And this one, all the cups are upright. So it can also mean walking away from situations and people that you love because they're no longer aligned with you, right? You're moving into alignment here. Again, testing of faith. You're going through so many tests, but I feel like whoever you are, you're passing all of them. The test didn't come out, right? So it feels like you're already like letting go and releasing situations, cutting ties, remember? And then in most cards, you see the person walking towards the sun, Nine of Cups, your fulfillment, your inner happiness. That's you right now. And again, Eight of Cups talks about letting truth and instinct, intuition, inner knowing lead the way. So a healthy balance of head and heart is what I'm hearing. Not letting your emotions overshadow your judgment. All right. I want to see. Where are you currently blocked? What's currently blocking you? Current blockages. What's currently blocking you? Do you want to come out or? Yeah, you want to come out. Okay, so you could be struggling with willpower here. You could be struggling with willpower. We have contemplation, reevaluation, feeling unfulfilled, feeling like you're missing out on an opportunity. This Four of Cups, so this is what I'm hearing, this Four of Cups, this card talks about missing out on situations because you're so focused on those three cups, or you're so focused on that, like this lady's staring at one cup, right? You could be missing opportunities that Spirit is trying to align with you right now because maybe you do have an emotional wall up. Like maybe you put up these boundaries, but you're in the energy where you don't want to let anyone in, right? And you could be missing out. You could be missing out on opportunities that Spirit's trying to send you here, right? Because you're focused on these cups. Remember, you've watched the reading, you know what we talked about. We talked about some people in your life or some situations in your life. So maybe you're not seeing that, or maybe you're hopeful to love again, right? Maybe, and when I picked up that book, it did say some of you may have like a little bit of a wall around your heart, and you could be being aligned with other people on the journey. I'm thinking about that quest, the geese that are trying to align with you, or you're meant to align with to further your ascension, right? Soul tribe energy. But maybe because of what you've been through in the past with people, you have a fear of being hurt again. right? Choose happiness, right? The advice of that Four of Cups in reverse talks about choosing happiness. A new outlook, clarity, choosing happiness. So choose the things that make you happy. And remember, alignment feels magnetic. And release the things that don't. You have the Two of Cups as a blockage. So an imbalance of energy, breakup, separation, disharmony, fear of rejection, distrust. Now it makes sense why I pulled that, or why I flipped open to that. You could be shutting people out right now. And I'm not talking about the people that you're meant to be putting up boundaries with. I'm talking about like going through a testing of faith, a lot of tests with people in your life. And when you align with someone else, like even if it's a friend or a potential friend, your heart, like maybe you just close down because of, or a wall, your emotional armor still goes up because of fear of rejection or not trusting that they're not just going to be like the other ones or whatever. We also have withdrawal. So you could be isolating. You could be heavily isolating, which again, we have to go through because that panther, anything that's not aligned with us is removed. But then that panther pounces in with the ultimate intention of leading us to a brighter future, to more aligned opportunities, right? So I feel like whoever you are, you're ready to align with new opportunities. And I'm not talking about jumping into a romantic connection. That's not what I'm talking about. But think about it. You have a crossroads coming. And you're being asked to choose happiness. Don't pick the thing that feels unfulfilling just to avoid separation, right? There could still be situations in your life that are where there's an imbalance. Still working on self-love. Still work on your self-love here. I just want to get a few more for that. What is blocking you? What is blocking you? High Priestess, doubting your intuition? Oh dear. Oh, that makes sense. The clover was Six of Swords energy. No, it was Six of Pentacles. Never mind. This is Six of Swords. Returning to trouble. Be careful with this one. Your crossroads, again, your crossroads has to do with you're going to feel like an internal storm and you're being called to choose happiness. My body tells me what it needs and I'm willing to listen. The timing of that was insane. That's what I was just talking about. You have a crossroads coming where you need to choose happiness. You need to choose what feels aligned with you. Alignment feels magnetic. There's no rush, no pressure to make that decision. Take all the time you need. And don't let anybody else rush you either. Cognitive dissonance, confusion between the head and the heart, weighing up your options. That's what it is. It's coming up in your blockage. I think there's going to be something here that happens. Maybe even that person that you were thinking about when you woke up, reaching out. Now I'm thinking about that middle row with I miss you. Left on red, something smells off. Don't risk all your hard work. Choose silence is what I'm hearing. But anyway, cognitive dissonance, confusion between the head and the heart. So you had for crossroads, storm brewing. And what was the other one? I can't remember now. Anyway, I don't think you trust your intuition. I don't think you're trusting in your intuition. And you are magical. You got the unicorn. And I think that you've got people in your energy making you doubt your own magic, which is sad. Do you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing this reel that I send back and forth with Bree. Don't let anybody with no abracadabra don't let anyone with no abracadabra tell you what to do with your own magic. That's what I'm hearing. Blockage, blocked intuition, doubting your intuition, cognitive dissonance, confusion between head and heart. Remember all the times I stopped and I explained to you the difference between fear and ego and distorted energy and inner knowing. Your body energetically repels something that's not aligned with you. Alignment feels magnetic. Your mind, your distorted energy tries to put fear into you, tells you that you need to choose now, you need to control the situation, or like puts fear into you, questions you. Your intuition is patient, gentle. And my intuition is telling me that you're going to go through a test between intuition and distorted ego, fear, anxiety, overwhelm. I feel like that is coming. Your crossroads, it's going to require you to find your center. Cognitive dissonance again. And you're going to have to listen with your intuition. Be the unicorn. Right? It's piercing through that veil. Right? It's piercing out whatever this crossroads is, whether it's family, work, love, friendship, whatever it is. I have a really weird feeling. I'm just going to say it. I feel like it's going to be the person you woke up thinking about this morning, right? When we're tempted to fall back into our old ways. Again, listen with your intuition. Take as much time as you need to make the decision. Weigh the pros and cons. Playing with fire, remember? Instant gratification might feel good in the moment. Remember, you can't make a mistake. Remember that thing I read you. All it can do is delay you for a while, is what I'm hearing. What is that from? Is that from Ever After? I don't know. And you also have the Six of Wands. Fear of being seen, fear of being heard, fear of failure, lack of confidence. You could still be struggling with self-love and confidence, especially confidence in your intuition. Also, balance in your life. What is out of balance in your life? Reflect about that. What's out of balance in your life? Do you spend more time on finances than self-care? Got to find a balance. All right. I want to see just advice about, like, this Six of Swords talks about a lesson. And in your outcome on Unspoken Oracle, you had lesson learned. So whatever this crossroads is, I'm shocked the test didn't come out. But anyway, whatever this crossroads is, it's important to learn the lesson this time. What's coming to what should you focus on right now? Let's do that. What should you focus on? Taking the first step, stepping out of your comfort zone, healing patterns that have kept you stuck from moving forward, choices, decisions. Six of Cups. Okay. I am going to say one thing. You do have a choice coming, and we have the Six of Cups, so it could definitely be someone that you know, right? Choose self is what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. Just about that decision, right? Here, it's going to put you into emotional, like it's going to put you into tornado, internal chaos, which means your body is rejecting it, right? Your intuition is trying to tell you, your body speaks to you, your body tells you how it feels. Remember that. Could be someone from the past. Just remember that. Okay? Choices. Also, it is time to release yourself from isolation. If you've been spiritually isolating, it's time to re-enter the world. Again, there are opportunities passing you by right now. That Four of Cups came out for a reason. Now we have the Four of Swords. This is what you should focus on. Re-entering the world. Coming out of withdrawal, right? That was one of the things blocking you. You being very withdrawn, possibly missing out on opportunities that Spirit is trying to align with you. Again, they'll realign at a later time. What's meant for you will never pass you by. But I'm also seeing the potential of a collaboration aligning with you. Right? So maybe you've built boundaries for the people in your energy right now and from your past, but you don't want to be so closed off that you miss out on future opportunities, if that makes sense. Re-entering the world, coming out of your cave. I'm seeing the bear in the animal deck, released from spiritual slumber, re-entering the world. And it takes a few months to find your footing. Taking the first steps, right? Stepping out of your comfort zone. It says choosing path. Should I stay or should I go? Remember that crossroads. Should I stay or should I go? Reconnecting to joy, right? Continue focusing on healing, but reconnecting to joy. Reconnecting to your inner innocence. Re-entering the world. So that you can align with your people is what I'm hearing. Because Three of Pentacles is on the bottom. Collaboration, teamwork, shared goals, pooling energy, right? I feel like, again, I feel like Spirit's trying to send people in. Remember the geese when I said, not everybody is meant to come with you, but you'll find your other geese. One more for what you should focus on. Seven of Wands, boundaries. Empress! Love it, love it. So stand your ground, boundaries, defending your position, perseverance, protectiveness, protecting energy. But remember, you're attracting in the right type of energy is what I'm hearing. I know it's conflicting. And to think about it, what's blocking you, you have a bit of conflicting energy sometimes anyway. Anyway. Healthy boundaries, but don't build walls, right? There was a reason I pulled that card about opening your heart. There's people that want to align with you. People who will respect your boundaries. Collaboration, Three of Pentacles, good teammates. And then we have the Empress. So focusing on trusting your intuition. I said it, the Empress, divine, the Empress, trusting your intuition. Nurturing yourself. I do not chase, I attract. I work on my garden and then the bees come to me. Community, bees. And again, when you do put up healthy boundaries, people fall away, but then the people who are meant to align with you come trickling in. Trust me. Focus on nurturing yourself, self-care, divine feminine energy, and protecting that energy. You're a unicorn. You're meant to find your other unicorns. I just want to take a little bit of, do I want to? I want to see what Spirit's trying to bring in for you here with that Four of Cups. And let me just look. What is Spirit bringing to, or what are you calling in? What are you calling in? What are you calling in? Strength. You are the lion. You're becoming stronger. Self-love and respect, unconditional love, courage, inner strength, compassion, inner stillness. And I'm also hearing strong connections. We have Queen of Cups. Compassion, warmth, caring, intuition, healer, supportive. You're calling in your people. Remember, not only that, what are you calling in? Stronger intuition, trusting your inner knowing. Right? Maybe once you go through this journey, you're meant to be a healer and have like influence others. Empowered empath. The Strength card, the Queen of Cups, empowered empath. That's beautiful. What are you calling in? Three of Cups. Yes, I knew it. I was hearing it. That's why anyway, I was hearing it. Nine of Pentacles. Abundant, luxury, self-sufficiency, independence, self-worth, financial independence, leisure, rewarded effort, success, achievements. I'm hearing like bees to honey. You're calling in your community, your people. What is a true, what was that card that came out? What was that card that came out? I know loyal friend came out, but there was another one with support system. Is that it? Support system? That's what you're calling in. And I think you were around your support system, but then you became misaligned with your support system because you changed, right? What was that card? It's probably just support system. Support system. That's what you're calling in. That's what you're calling in. They're going to flock to you, right? Like bees to your garden. Reliable presence, emotionally grounding, safe space to fall apart, mutual encouragement. Other people that are in the energy of self-love, right? And upliftment and have compassion and are supportive. Queen of Cups. Three of Cups. Other independent souls. Maybe you meet them online. Maybe you meet them at a distance. But look at this. We have the World. New chapter. New chapter. Completion. You know what I'm hearing? Right? Once you start coming into wholeness, inner union, you start to attract in other geese. I don't know why I'm saying geese. That are in whole energy. That are in inner union. Because remember, your vibration is shifting. New chapter. Completion. Accomplishment. World travel. Evolution. Fulfillment. Harmony. Sense of belonging. Your people. Your people. Celebration, friendship, collaborations, community, circle of support, your place of shared joy. Like, where are you? Why am I hearing the theme song to Cheers? Where everybody knows your name. I'm showing amazing willpower by not talking about Brie right now. I just said to Brie this morning, my love for her is infinite. Like, it just goes on and on forever. Strength card, the infinity symbol. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Your people, right? The people that understand you on a soul level, I'm hearing. That's gorgeous. So whatever that crossroads is, right? It's gonna close out a chapter for you. All right. That's lovely. Oh, got a card in there. Oh my gosh, if you could do me a favor, now that I'm thinking about it. If you have a kid and you heard my little message about my son saying, if you can hear this, drop a sandwich emoji. I would just love it if one person could do that, because it would just make his day. It would just make his day. All right, I want to get you one of these. This is the Priestess of Light Oracle. I've been pulling it out in some of my readings. All right, what is that? Eternal Flame, Sacred Purpose. All right, I'm just going to cut the deck. Brilliant Beliefs. There's personal power. There's something here about the people around you that don't believe in the same things. And it's fine to believe in different things, right? But personal opinion. It's also helpful to have like-minded souls around, like-minded souls, the dolphin, so that you can continue to ascend. Again, you go through powerful ascensions when you align with Soul Tribe. The same way that if you resonate with being on the journey, you would have gone through a powerful ascension activation. Brilliant Beliefs, luminous life force, personal power, third eye is activated, and it looks like throat chakra energy coming out. And we have jaguars, I think. There's something about sharing your voice and trusting your intuition and believing in yourself. Believe in yourself. I believe in you. But you don't need anyone else outside of... Ooh, my solar plexus is grumbling. Are you eating? I'm hungry. Maybe you have like a lack of self-confidence about sharing your voice, right? A message for this beautiful collective. Psychic ability and future vision. You are magical. The owl, clairvoyant, the unicorn. Go with the flow, letting go, cleansing and receiving, releasing what is no longer aligned with you, right? Surrendering to the flow, releasing resistance. We talked about it somewhere. I heard it. I remember. I remember. And you know what's interesting? Look at that body language. I knew there was a reason I flipped open to that. Now I feel like I have to go back and reread it. Because it says letting go, cleansing, receiving. And look at the body language. The body language closed off. The body language is protecting this area right here. Heart chakra, right? Again, I feel like Spirit's trying to align you with people and things, but again, you had that card about I'm hopeful to love. You need to be open to it. There's something like that's blocking new energy from coming in, right? Pre-recognition, psychic ability, future vision. And again, there's like an activation around her third eye. There's an activation around the throat. I'm also hearing the Magician, because look at the light in her hand. So what you imagine, what you intuitively see, seer, you're a seer. What you intuitively see and know to be true about your future, right? This is a tough one because, again, what you see in your eye, you can manifest into your hands. But in terms of you don't want to hold on to things. I hope I'm not confusing you again. If it's out of your hands, right? If it's something that you've already had and it's out of your hands, it should be out of your mind, if that makes sense. And look at all that blue. Throat chakra. And again, surrender. Open to receive. This says receive. That's part of feminine, like that's part of Empress energy, right? Being open to whatever comes in. And I'm not talking about crap either. Because if anything that's not aligned with you comes in, the Empress would not allow it in, not allow it in the garden, right? "13, death and rebirth. The Egyptian priestess on this card. You also had the on the chariot, there was an Egyptian type of figure thing. The Egyptian priestess on this card has developed a profoundly heightened psychic ability. She looks peacefully into the light, hovering over her right hand where images of the future reveal themselves. A soft glow emanates from her throat center and brow chakra, radiating from beneath her hawk headdress." I said messenger of divinity, and I said, I don't know why I said that. That's the hawk. I think you're meant to be sharing your voice with the world, my friend. I'm seeing you in the reading I did yesterday. You might not be there yet. There's a reason I said messenger of divinity. No, that's the hawk card. And now we've got the hawk. Messenger of the divine. I can smell it. She looks peacefully into the light, hovering over her right hand where images... I already read that. The hawk aids her in reaching higher levels of consciousness. This messenger bird represents expansive psychism, I don't know, and future vision. And you also had the Queen of Cups, and the High Priestess is blocking. You do have powerful inner knowing, inner guidance. This card indicates that you are now capable of reaching new heights of intuition and precognitive ability. Remember what's blocking you? Cognitive dissonance. You have precognitive ability, but your cognitive dissonance, confusion between the head and the heart, not trusting your inner knowing, is blocking it. You may have already noticed flashes of insight and deeper awareness. If so, trust the information you receive, the unicorn, and let yourself look even deeper into the potential meanings of your future visions. Beautiful. You're magical. There may be an important message coming your way. You know what else I find? I've been getting a lot of intuitive downloads in this reading. And I used to say whenever that happens, I'm channeling someone very intuitive. There may be important messages coming your way. These may take the form of guidance about future choices. Hello. Or inspirations about creation, career-related, or personal projects. Remember that your soul vibrates at the level of spirit connection. I said it. Like-minded souls. You're vibrating on a level of spirit connection. For this reason, this card may also indicate a potential career involving psychic or intuitive practices. My little light worker! It's no wonder I grabbed this deck. In fact, you may have led such careers in your past lives. Oh my gosh, the Six of Cups said, one of those cards said past lives. So you could have been a priestess in a past life, or a witch, or whatever. Magic, you're magic. Know that your soul is calling for you to reconnect. Take time to meditate more so you can peacefully receive. And remember, your energy, arms closed, you're not receiving it right now. They really need to take the hint. They keep calling me. I don't answer. Go away. My energy is high and my thoughts are focused. That's how I came into this reading, remember? Well, I'm still in that energy. It's just it's my mobile phone place calling probably to make me upgrade something, and I don't want it. I'm choosing silent strength. As you could see with me going, oh, it's annoying. I don't want them to call me. I don't like phone calls. I can't even remember what I was saying. Let yourself trust in your growing intuition, your unicorn horn, your little unicorn bump. The spirit world is open to you, ready to reveal your future potential and all that you need to know now. Your affirmation, I am one with the spirit world. Every day my psychic ability grows. Think about the never-ending story, The sand, the pearl of sand in her hand. And she says, with every wish, Fantasia will become stronger. That's what it reminds me of. I get so excited. But like Spirit's trying to give you this. Maybe Spirit's trying to align you with a unicorn. Someone who is a little bit farther along than you that can help you ascend, right? Because again, it's true soul connections, there's an ascension that happens. Even this one looks like a little unicorn horn pointing that way. But if you're closed off, cognitive dissonance, you wouldn't be able to tap into these precognitive, whatever it's called. But just think about it energetically. If you're closed off, that was coming through as a blockage, you might not be getting these insights that Spirit's trying to give you. So go with the flow, letting go, cleansing, receiving. What number is that? 25. I've already talked about it. Again, the cards that keep coming out, there's the very first card, this card, there's an activation around the throat and the third eye. And maybe your solar plexus, because I'm feeling that. Or maybe you're just eating without me. Tell me what you're eating. I want to know. This priestess of the waterfall rises from the foam, holding the mists of the water spirits close to her heart. She wears a golden spiral of infinity, the strength, the Queen of Cups. That's not even the right card. It's all making sense. It's all making sense. Make sure your circle around you is a happy one. Like the people around you. Anyway. She wears a golden spiral of infinity on her headdress, symbolizing the power of purification and the release of negativity. When this card appears in your spread, it announces a time of quiet energy, encouraging you to release resistance and go with the flow. True release requires a conscious intention to let go of control and embrace the cleansing energy of non-attachment. And you are doing that. You are doing that. It's time to step back and reevaluate things. Four of Cups, reevaluation. There's things in your life that you still need to release. Take a break from trying to force things to your will and open your heart to guidance of Spirit flowing within you and around you. This doesn't mean you shouldn't take any action. It means your action should flow with your intuition. Oh my gosh, this reading is magical. This reading is magical. Water is an important element in your life experience. It brings clarity and understanding and represents the presence of Spirit. You are a body of water. The king of the fish, bodies of water, the fish in your soul contract. As is this blue planet of ours. On that level, you resonate with Earth and every entity on it. So charge the water you drink with love. I've heard this. I've heard that you should speak good affirmations into the water you drink. I've seen studies where they speak badly to things and they speak nicely to things, and the difference it makes. I can't remember if it could have been water. It could have been water. Affirm Spirit's presence in the rain. Why am I hearing purple rain? purple rain. Maybe you need to go stand out the next time it rains, right? We've been programmed to think, oh, it's raining, we shouldn't go outside, we don't want to get wet. It's incredibly magical and healing to go stand in the rain if it's not too cold. And I'm hearing purple rain, and I'm thinking about the third eye chakra. Maybe you need to go stand in the rain. In the shower and in all water around you, this cleansing intention purifies your energy and releases limitation and negativity. Such a clear and vibrant resonance then opens your life to the unlimited flow of abundance available to you. Yeah, and when you have negativity and a lack mindset and scarcity mindset, you block abundance. And I'm not just talking about money. When you accept the worst, I always used to say, I always accept the worst and then I'm prepared. But then what did I do? I always called in the worst case scenario because that's what I was putting my intention into. You know, I used to know somebody that would, what if this happens? And what if this happens? And like imagining, I called it catastrophizing. And I said to them, I said, but what if it doesn't? What if something good happens, right? And again, I think Bree mentioned that yesterday too, but we've been programmed to expect the worst, right? And to not trust in ourselves and to believe negativity. Anyway, this is one of those readings I could just talk for hours. Such a clear and vibrant resonance then opens your life. I already said that. Let go and receive, for the river of endless opportunity is coming your way. I move comfortably through the experiences of my life. I release resistance and align myself with the joyous energy flowing freely through the world. And what was I going to say? Oh, it went away. Guess it didn't matter. Nope, it's gone. Because I wasn't meant to say it. I did say I wanted one animal apothecary card for you. I'm just going to get you one. Just one, Spirit. Just one, just one, just one. I do really love this deck and book. Attract through glow, your light, shining your light. Your glow up, right? You're attracting in other fireflies. Do you know that I heard that a group of fireflies is called a sparkle? How magical is that? And I said, you're like giving me my sparkle back. Remember I said that? You sparkle, you shine. One card for you. I don't know what's going on with me in this reading. High vibrations. Oh, inner truth. Synchronicity, synchronicity. This is the dragonfly one. I love the dragonfly. This is 7, chariot energy. Careful of, imagining the worst. Imagine the best. Paint a picture in your mind of the best case scenario is what I'm hearing. Your inner truth. So similar to that owl card. And then you have better than you can imagine. So I like to look at this the way, like this is us before we awaken, right? So the dragonfly spends most of its life as a tiny little nymph creature underwater. That's all it knows is darkness, being underwater, the darkness of the underwater world, right? And then at some point in its life cycle, it intuitively feels called to head towards the light. And I'm not talking about that light. Remember you on the staircase heading towards the light, ascension, right? So it intuitively feels drawn to go towards the surface. And I believe it like lays it. Hang on. I'm not exactly sure what happens when it climbs onto the reed that it climbs onto. If it cocoons itself or I'm not really sure. But it grows into a dragonfly. And this card is about not having, like, imagine the best case scenario, because this little dragonfly, as a tiny little nymph creature, has no idea how magical its life is going to be when it's the dragonfly and it can fly, right? It's no longer underwater in the darkness, not able to see. It's flying, it's ascending. I'm hearing the dragonfly, things coming to light, right? Progression, healing, growth. And it follows its intuition up to that surface. Its inner knowing. And it says better than you can imagine. So what comes in your future is better than you can possibly imagine. So why not aim big, is what I'm hearing. Dream big, I'm hearing. What if everything is amazing, right? Not what if everything falls apart. 39. I don't know where the time went. I just lose all sense of time when my soul is happy like this. Before a dragonfly becomes her most authentic self, she spends 4 years underwater. 4 years. Maybe you've been on the journey for 4 years. Underwater is a creepy little nymph creature. The dragonfly nymph has no comprehension of her greatness. How could a creature that lives underwater even remotely fathom that there existed an atmosphere she had no perception of, which she would not only live in but fly in as well? Please remember to breathe. I don't know why I stopped breathing. I don't know why I stopped breathing when I said that. Dragonfly brings a sacred message about your belief in your future self. She says that your perception could be quite limited right now. My dear, you are magic. You are magic. And your life is going to be better than you could ever possibly imagine, is what I'm hearing. Be aware of this. If you have a dream, dragonfly is telling you all you have to do is work on it. I live in a state of constant, consistent gratitude, your affirmation. And life will do the rest. Work on your dream, life will do the rest. Don't try and figure out what it's supposed to look like with your limited perceptions. Don't look at setbacks as the end of the world. Remember the spiral. It's all part of that spiral, even the setbacks. They were meant to happen to propel you and stretch you. Keep working on your dream and life will create something so much bigger than you have the ability to currently understand. Surrender your need for something to be like the limited view in your head. Then have absolute trust that life will deliver something greater. Third, be patient. Last, get excited for something bigger than your dreams, for something bigger than your dreams is destined for you. It's better than you can imagine. You have no idea how beautiful your life is going to be and how magical you are right now. You will. You will. And I just want to peek at this one because it's just, I don't think I've ever read this card. I don't know. The owl sees in the dark and knows what is not directly being shown. She is the master intuitive. In ancient Greek mythology, owls sat on the shoulder of Athena so that the goddess would know the whole truth at all times. If you receive this card, it is a message that you have a deep inner knowing and you can trust in your gifts. This is interesting. Whatever guidance you are currently seeking, this card is confirmation that the answer will not only come, but it will come from within. Queen of Cups, the Eight of Cups. Trust your instincts. We talked all about it. It comes from within. Not from up here. Not from up there, assuming the worst, right? We talked all about it, the crossroads. Owl says it's okay to not immediately know the right answer or what to do. Remember, we talked about that. There's no rush. Fear may arise and hide the truth of the situation from you, but you are being asked to sit in the confidence of your inner knowing. It's on page 16, Tower. Expect the unexpected. Patience is of the utmost importance. Exactly. There's no rush to answer. Or whatever. Make a decision. When you push and try and instruct your intuition to immediately figure out an answer, your intuition becomes strangled by your ego's control. All you need to know is that the guidance will come. When and how it comes is none of your concern. Life will help you connect with your intuition to reveal the truth, figure out the best path, the crossroads, and do what is best for your growth and the growth of anyone else involved. Owl's medicine shares that you do know the answer and it will be revealed at the correct moment. Relax and go do something else. Exactly. We talked all about that. We talked all about it. And now I see why Spirit was being a little bit mysterious about what was going on, right? Because Spirit's saying you already know. All right, I'm done now. Oh, that was fun. That was a fun reading. Anyway, I'm going to go. I'm going to go now, but I'm sending you my unicorns lots of love and light. Trust your intuition. Trust your intuition. You are magic. You are literally magic. Unicorn. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.